Yeah, hi everyone. Landrick Bennett Jr. I'm the Managing Director for 880 Cities. We're here with Gia Benny, who is our project manager, and I think she's already told you all that she is going to be running the Ontario Community Changemakers program for us, and we're really excited to bring this all forth. And I apologize for the technical difficulties putting this all together. We're streaming on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram this afternoon. So I got to hear a couple of the questions, and I know I've got a few that are popping up on my screen. So why don't I let you finish with your question, and then I'll see what other questions are popping up that I can either answer or toss to yourself.
Yeah, I think maybe we could go to your questions.
Sure, yeah, okay. So did we already, I've got a question on are pairs allowed?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I talked about that.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's for individuals only. Yeah.
Right. Have we talked about who can apply?
Yes, briefly, but maybe you can expand on that.
So this is open to Ontario residents 19 to 35. Our virtual studio begins here in August, and OCC, the application is open to everyone, and we're encouraging BIPOC, LGBTQ, women and those underrepresented to make an application and put forth your name and your ideas to be a part of OCC. And I guess to follow up to that is what is in there for you? What are you going to be getting if you're chosen? So the selected changemakers receive a $5,000 seed funding to implement one of their community projects in 1 year. $5,000. That funding can go towards research, equipment, marketing, education, and so much more. The project's implementation is really up to you. Our group, 880 Cities in general, we're here to help you foster and manage what's going on, but this is all about what you're going to be bringing to the table, and we're here to help as best as we can.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, we mentioned Changemakers. I don't know if we told everyone that if you're selected, you will be called Changemakers, and that's a pretty big title.
It's a big title because, and especially looking at the time frame that we're all in right now, we're knock on wood, we're getting past this third wave of a pandemic. We've seen so many of those changes kind of bubbling into communities. How do we kind of move that forward? How do we continue that momentum and allow for young people to really harness the time frame that we're in, and a change maker right now, the ability to really make that change tangible and strengthen the ability of bringing your community forward. I think this is really the time to this is the time that we want to give platform to these 20 individuals to really bring forth again those ideas and those changes that can make a positive impact within their communities.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we're getting more questions.
And if anyone has any questions, please you can respond in the comments, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. Just send in your questions there.
I do have one, and I don't know if we had already talked about this, but just a reminder that the applications are due for Sunday, July the 4th at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The web portal allows you to apply in written audio files as well. We actually just this morning updated to make sure that there's a PDF application as well there, just to try and ease any of the barriers that are there. And of course, if you need any support during the time of getting these applications up, you can email us at occsupport@880cities.org for any additional questions.
Yeah.
So did we break down the three themes
No,
of?
yeah.
Okay, so.
No, like I talked about themes, but we should talk about it more.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I mean, the awesome thing about being a change maker is that we're looking for those ideas that are outside of the box, and the three pieces, or at least the three themes that we're looking for these projects to kind of fall into, is improving or activating public space, enhancing civic engagement, and fostering social inclusion. So when you think about your public spaces, these are areas that should be open and accessible to all. Public spaces can be sidewalks, they can be libraries, local parks, community centers, or even the street that's outside of your front door. These public spaces, they play a key role in impacting your health and supporting community well-being.
Mm-hmm.
Did you want to maybe talk about enhancing civic engagement?
Yeah. So we are really looking for ideas that can bring communities together and to make it possible for communities and groups to sit together and come up with ideas that can help impact their community. So there should be a process that brings all these people together, and we are really interested in that. Because it is only when communities come together, when all the people have a voice in what's happening in the community, it's only then that the people in the community can own their spaces, and that's really important to for the future of that space, of that community.
It's really a time for. It's really a time for the YIMBYs to
Exactly,
be able
like you said
to come
in the video,
forth.
it should be YIMBY approved.
This is YIMBY approved.
Yes.
The last theme is fostering social inclusion, and our society has many barriers, both visible and invisible, preventing marginalized communities from accessing public spaces and participating in public life. So this third theme, we see the ability to include gender, identity, race, age, sexual orientation, socioeconomic status. We want you to be able to bring forth projects that break down the barriers and really foster some social inclusion within your community. So again, that's improving and or activating public spaces, enhancing civic engagement, and also fostering social inclusion.
And there is no small idea, there's no big idea, we want all sorts of ideas. And you will never know what sort of ideas will actually impact change, influence change. So don't feel like my idea is too small for this project. There's nothing like that. We want to hear from you, and we want to hear all sorts of ideas.
And I guess that's really at the heart of what OCC is going to be about is these 20 individuals, these 20 ideas that are going to be coming forth. They're going to be touching a lot of people's lives, and this is why we've opened this up all across Ontario. This is not just a Toronto-centric piece. This isn't just about the GTA. We're looking for changemakers that are across Ontario, from as far north as possible. It's really trying to get the province geared up with these ideas to really bring forth again those ideas that have probably been not so much put on hold, but again, we've all been going through the pandemic right now. There are a lot of things that have kind of been pushed to the side, and I think that we really want this platform to really allow for those many ideas, those many voices to come forth and to really be able to put change that will accomplish some great things for people.
Yes, for sure. Yeah. And another thing that is quite special about the program is that is the virtual studio.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah, like-
So yes.
No, I was going to say that the 20 changemakers that are selected will be brought together at this virtual studio because of COVID. We're going to have it all virtual, and there's going to be a lot of opportunity for peer-to-peer learning. A lot of opportunity for exchange of ideas, and we really want that to develop that cohort. The first cohort of OCC. And to have that sort of like a bond between them.
And I know it's going to be a bit hard, being that
Yeah.
I think a lot of us have been living through this virtual world and not being able to see each other. But we've had a lot of, I want to say, experience right now at 880 Cities, being able to pull people together in this virtual world, and we're building the lineup of speakers and guest spots to really come in and give the 20 changemakers a good lift off into what it is that they're hoping to build upon, which I think is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And that is happening in mid to late August, I believe.
Yes. So it will be a 2-day program. Day one, we would start on August 7th, which is a Saturday, and then the second day is August 14th,
Okay.
which is also a Saturday.
So early August, mid August for both of those.
Yeah.
So it'll be great.
Yeah.
And they are full day-ish.
Full day-ish, because we don't want you to stare at the screen the whole day. It's not all that fun, but so it won't be like
It's not 8 hours straight of
No.
just looking at a
No,
screen.
no, it
good,
won't be.
Good. Homework though?
There'll be a little bit of homework, yes. We won't let you go that easy.
Nice.
But yeah. But yeah, we will tell you all that on the first day, and you can come do the homework. Take the week to do the homework, and then discuss about it the next day, the next week.
All right. Just seeing if I have any other questions that are popping up, but I'm wondering, Gia, if we want to talk a bit about who the funder is that's kind of helping us with this. How does that kind of key into our programming?
Yeah, sure. So the program is funded by Balsam Foundation, and we have Park People is also a partner for this program. And so Balsam Foundation has a big focus on spaces of play and family environments, and equity is also a big topic for them.
They've done some work on here in Toronto on the Bentway, which is a ongoing project in the city of Toronto, and so we're really happy to have them as partners. Park People as well, who are across Canada working on creating some amazing spaces, but also making our park spaces equitable for all, which is a really awesome piece. So we're really happy to have both of those organizations being a part of what we're doing with OCC. And I'm sorry, I'm still going through some of these messages that are not coming through, and
yes,
I'm so
guys,
sorry.
just send in your questions in the comments.
That was fun.
Yeah, I don't know about you, Landrick, but this is my first live, so there's
Yeah,
a lot of learning happening here.
it is fun trying to have different streams
Yes.
put forth for us having this conversation. But I think this is a reaction to the world that we're in right now, where we're not able to just bring everyone down to 401 Richmond in our office right now. We've got some awesome help from Camilla and Brandon, who are trying to put things together for us here. But yeah, I mean, this is kind of the reality that we're living in, trying to do these live events. So yeah, we'll continue through and see if we have any other questions that pop into the chat. On the website itself, we've got, of course, a fact page, and you can visit that. We're also, of course, totally happy to get emails if there are any questions, and that email address, so that I don't forget, is here we go. Of course, I've lost my.
I think we have a question.
Oh, awesome.
Do you have a particular site identified to be eligible to apply for the grant?
A particular site?
Is there? I'm assuming there's a particular site. Is there a particular
No,
site?
it just has to be in Ontario. Anywhere in Ontario, that's good.
Yeah, any city, any town, doesn't matter, as long as it's in the province of Ontario. Indigenous territories, of course, included in that. As long as it's in this province, we are excited to get a project going in your space.
We also have another question from Nata. Not sure if this was seen, but are research-related activities eligible?
Research-related.
Activities eligible?
Yes,
for
research-related is eligible
Yeah.
as long as it activates public space and enhances civic engagement, fosters social inclusion. If there is a contribution to any of those things.
Oh, those three, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah, I hope that the viewers, and I hope that individuals that are applying don't think that it has to be a physical
I know,
thing
yeah.
that is being constructed here. These ideas allow for, we've got our three buckets, but that's I mean, you can do so much within those pieces. So yeah, you don't need to build anything. It doesn't have to be a built structure or anything of that sort. So open yourself up to as many ideas as possible. I think we got another one.
Just going back to the previous question, do we have to specify the site, or can the selection be part of the process?
Yeah, I think it again, as long as whatever's going to happen is going to happen in the province. You don't have to tell us outright that, hey, this is happening in Kitchener-Waterloo or in Windsor, Ontario, but know that the end product needs to the end project, not product, but project needs to happen in the province.
Yeah, and I think in the application form we say where will your project be located. You could mention, but we don't want like exact locations and it is going to be this park or it's going to be at this intersection. We don't want those kind of details right now.
No.
Yeah.
I think we got another one.
Awesome. Another question. I noticed that there's an age limit for applicants. Is this a strict line? If someone's past this age, cannot apply?
Unfortunately, yeah, we've kind of limited to that age group that you have to be between 19 and 35 to actually apply. So, and I guess that gets a bit murky if you turn 36 by the end of it. But right now,
but I think in August when we have the virtual studio,
right.
you have to be 19 to 35.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
No problem. Those are good questions.
Yeah.
And I know, and I've I know again that location piece is maybe a bit of a, well, I don't know where my you know, where my idea may fall or may live, and that's okay. I mean, if you've got a broad, you know, figuring of that, I think we're okay with that.
Yeah.
I don't think it needs to necessarily,
Yeah.
be on this street
Yeah.
or in this park, or but if you've got a you know, an understanding of where you'd like to at least try it out, and we should say too that there may be a lot of pivoting in this. As much as you're coming in with this one amazing idea, things are changing rapidly
Exactly.
in this province right now. So if a pivot may have to happen, that's where we are to hopefully help in kind of massaging that
Yeah.
as well.
We have another question. What if we can't attend one of the workshops?
So yeah, we want you to attend both the workshops,
Yeah.
and if it is because of any technical barrier or anything, we can help you with that. But yes, we ideally would want you to attend
Yeah.
the workshops. And if it's like a time constraint, let us know what the issue is. If you know, maybe we can solve it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe we should touch upon that. Like if there is a technical barrier, we can.
So if that means
Yeah.
internet, or if you're needing assistance in equipment, so I mean computer, laptop, something of
Yeah,
that sort,
headphones, yeah.
headphones, we definitely want to hear from you nonetheless, and those are things that we don't want to be as barriers.
Yeah.
So we want to be able to work with any applicant that feels that, you know, if they get picked, that hey, I may need some help in this or this, we want to be able to work with those applicants. So do not be afraid to put that into the mix of your application, and the better that we know what those barriers are beforehand, the easier it'll be for us to be able to come up with a solution to help.
Yeah. Do we have other questions?
I've got a
So-
question I got an email. just, and I think, as I was saying, that's so cool that they emailed. That we've got a PDF that's going up on the website today. So if you're having difficulty with writing it in, or using the voice recording, download the PDF, take your time with it. The applications are due July 4th, 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you've got time. Take away the PDF. Talk with your friends. Talk with with family, with mentors. Take your time to put down the ideas that you need, and then get it to us. But we want to make this. We want to take away as many barriers as possible for applicants to be able to be a part of this.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty important to make this as open as we can for as many individuals to be a part of this.
So
Nice.
we are at 12:30. We will stay on a bit longer to, if you have more comments and questions.
What's exciting you about OCC? I know this is like, it's our first. It is a new idea for 880 cities here in Canada, and we're really proud and excited to bring it to Ontario. But what excites you about what may come through the application
Yeah.
portal with these ideas?
Yeah, I think two things. One is all these ideas. I'm just so curious to see what these different ideas are going to be. And the other is actually having that cohort, the 20 Changemakers, to see them digitally together, virtually together, but at least to have them as a group. And then like whatever we will be doing with them for the upcoming year.
Yeah.
What
And
about you?
For myself, I agree. Having those 20 people together, even virtually, I think is going to be really exciting. I'm kind of buoyed by just the opportunity of getting these ideas, meeting these individuals. They become a change maker. They don't. I still think that there's going to be a starting link to what's going on. I think our hope is that the Ontario Community Changemakers will continue onwards. Like, this is our first, of course, but we're hoping that we're going to be able to see this continue and grow. And I'm excited to get what's coming to us over the next little while, and really and maybe this is going to sound a bit of a shove. In Ontario, we are all very we all know that Toronto is kind of the quasi center of things that happen, and rightfully so. But there's so much more about this province. There's so much that, and I say this as someone living in Toronto, I haven't been able to go anywhere in almost a year. So to be able to reach out and have these ideas and have these individuals being able to put forth some incredible stuff, I think that's going to be exciting.
We have another question. What proportion of the budget could be allocated to honoraria for community?
It's a good question. I think that is definitely something that we'll be able to work with that individual on when it comes to budgeting.
But is there a hard and fast rule?
Yeah, there's not a hard and fast rule. So if you've already got a headspace as to where you think those funds need to go, we're not going to be here to be a barrier to that. I think it's just working with you to make sure that you're covering all your bases, and if there's a certain percentage that needs to go in that route, yay.
And like if that works well for the project, that's
even better.
That's all we want.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Yeah.
Was there one more question?
No.
Okay. Yeah. When you were talking about what were we discussing before about Ontario and and that's the other thing. Like, this is our home turf. 80 Cities' home turf is here, and to do something for this province, to bring up voices from Ontario, that's special.
And I think the fact that 880 Cities has been around for 13 years, we've been 5 different continents, over 300 different cities. We work on this entire opsis of if it can work for an 8-year-old, if it can work for an 80-year-old. I mean, that's how we put forth some incredible cities. But yeah, you're right. This is kind of our home turf. We have pivoted as an organization to kind of come back home and really put a bit more focus on what is happening outside of our front doors, and Ontario is that front door for us. So we really want to put some ideas in there. Got another question.
Can 2 people jointly apply for the grant?
Oh, you like this question.
Unfortunately not. The program is targeted to individuals, so we want one person to apply, but the team can have more than one person, but it's just that the application has to be done by one person, and that person has to be the lead decision maker. That person has to manage the funds, but yes, only one person. Another question?
Can you elaborate on what we will learn in the 2 workshops?
Sure, yeah. So we have a few activities lined up for you, and so it would be we would have a whole orientation session about the program and about us and about you, and then we are bringing speakers who can speak to you about people who have worked on similar projects and their experiences, and also about how they have done such projects in a COVID ridden world. So with these challenges that the pandemic has brought on, And yeah, and then we also have some modules, if you want to call them, about project planning, community
Leadership,
engagement,
marketing. There'll be
communications.
And budgeting. I mean, it's not gonna be a heavy situation, but we wanna give as many tools to the 20 Changemakers as possible, to at least have them leave after those 2 sessions with a good amount of information to say, okay, we can make this we can make this project work. Yeah.
Like we want to equip you with a toolkit sort of thing.
Yeah. That's actually what it's going to be too.
Yeah.
There is going to be a virtual toolkit that will be put together after the 2 sessions that you'll be able to access throughout the full year. We're also it is one of those things where after those 2 sessions we're not saying goodbye, and 365 days later, we'll be knocking on the door going, hey, so what happened? I think we're gonna want to be able to work with you, on an ongoing basis, doing check-ins, being able to have surprise guest speakers down the line. We really want not to control what you're doing, but definitely add to any way that we can bring success to what it is that you're going to be creating.
Yeah, like toolkit and support.
Yeah.
Yeah. More questions?
How do you think you did for your first digital live
Not
stream?
too bad.
Other than the technical difficulties
Yeah,
at the beginning, it's it's a pretty. I can totally understand how people get a bit jittery at turning on a camera and putting these things on, but it's a lot of fun. And I mean, again, throw in your questions if you've got them right now. You can always email us as well. You can follow us on as many channels as we've got. We're on Twitter, we're on Facebook and Instagram. We've even got a TikTok account.
Yes, we do.
Which my 13-year-old laughs at me every time I turn on TikTok, and she's just like, you shouldn't be on this thing. But we want to make.
But we are everywhere.
We're everywhere. We're everywhere for what OCC is going to be bringing, and we're hoping that these projects again are going to bring a focus to your community and allow for that community. I love that we've got questions on cue cards. This is cool. So
can you remind us about the due date for the application, and when will the winners get the notice?
Yeah. So the applications are due July 4th, 11:59 p.m. EST. So July 4th is a Sunday. You get the whole day to apply, and the winners will be announced on July 19th. Is that right? July 19th is a Monday.
So, yeah. So we need a bit of time to sift through all of the applications, which I know is going to be a lot of fun for us to be able to go through those. But yeah.
There's another question. How many winners you will have?
Yes, so we will select 20. We're calling them Changemakers. So we will select 20 Changemakers, and they will be part of the OCC program for the whole year.
Mm-hmm. I'm kind of seeing that we're almost wrapping up, which is totally fine. No, that's all good. Again, if you have any specific questions about the Ontario Community Changemakers, you can always get us at OCCsupport@880cities.org. Again, we're on many of the social media platforms. I will not be answering you on TikTok. we have someone else that is not of my age that will be definitely able to support on that. But Gia, thank you for
I think.
help.
Yeah.
Oh, we got one more.
Yeah.
Yay!
Can we attach images to our application?
Yes.
Yes, yeah.
Yes. Images, videos. Yes.
Yeah, there is an option to attach media in the application form. It is completely optional. You can or cannot, like, don't have to attach, but yes, there is an option to attach media in the application form.
I almost feel bad that we were gonna cut ourselves short. I think we should stay for the extra 15 just to make sure that we don't miss out on anyone else. There's a lot of people watching this. That's pretty cool.
Can you see it there? Yeah.
Can you give us some more examples about projects, whether that's in fostering social inclusion, activating public space, or community engagement?
Sure, yes. So, like activating public space. So, I think we had, we have on our website in the FAQ section, we have put up like a few examples of what we mean by activating public space and enhancing civic engagement, fostering social inclusion. But if, an example of public space would be, so there was a project where, this person put up beehive gardens in a public space in their community. So, and like people could come and access it, see it, see how it works. So it is activating that space.
Yeah.
It's also doing good for the environment. But that's, not that activating, like all projects that activate public space doesn't have to do that, but that was an interesting project.
I can remember too, and this is maybe a couple years ago, but I think it would fall into enhancing civic engagement. And I know, again, we're in a pandemic, things are kind of, in this virtual world, but I remember working with an individual on a project to bring in a baking oven. And that was to bring kind of a center for his community to be able to have enhanced community conversations.
Yeah.
And they were able to work with their local municipality to bring in this baking oven and have it activated on a monthly basis, where you literally break bread as you get to converse with your neighbors on a whole range of different topics. So a real enhancement of how you bring together that civic know-how.
Yeah.
and really just, again, being able to talk with people in your neighborhood, in your community, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah. There's one more question, but before that, I'll just talk about for the social inclusion part. And because those projects could be making our public spaces more inclusive. It could be inclusive in different ways. It could be a physical, in terms of physical accessibility. So installing small ramps, things like that. That is an option. But like safety in public space, that's a topic, and it is to make people feel safe in public spaces. To make it more inclusive.
But again, in we had kind of touched on this. It doesn't have to be a physical thing.
Yes,
I mean, you could teach a class. You could teach a series of classes. You could have a public forum where you get to discuss, what it is to have social inclusion. There are so many different facets where it doesn't have to be a physical entity that you're building, but to again, drop into those three buckets. It's whatever you feel can properly be able to showcase one of those three. I think is again what we're looking for.
Yes, the question.
Going back to the media submissions, can the media be our website or own social media?
Yes,
Yes.
it can be a media. It can be a website or a social media. Just put in the URL of your page or whatever it is, and that's good.
Yeah.
Was there a question?
No,
I think
How
got
are we
no
doing?
more here. I don't know.
Yeah.
no,
it's-
I think we, I think,
Brandon?
I think we're, I think we're
we
good.
should we wrap up?
Yeah, I think we can wrap up.
Thanks everyone. Then I think we're going to wrap up. Thanks for joining us, and we hope you applied. We hope you got your questions answered. If there are more, just send us an email at occsupport@880cities.org. We have a website. Look at the website. We have an FAQ section there. Go through the FAQ section, and yes,
Again, just remember that the due date for applications is Sunday, July 4th, 11:59 Eastern Standard Time. This again is open to anyone that is residing in Ontario. And
if they are 19 to 35
right,
years.
19 to 35. Yes, got to be within that age grouping. But we're looking forward to going through those applications. Looking forward to the virtual studio. Gia, thank you so much for your
Thank you,
time.
Landrick. Yes.
All right. Everyone have a wonderful weekend, and thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.